Hi everyone, this is Carrie with Side by Side Educational Consulting, where we work side by side with educators to improve outcomes for all kids. Today I want to talk to you about 5 alternatives to raised hands. I know when you ask questions in the classroom, you don't want everyone blurting out everything at the same time, and so we're always going to lean on to having kids raising hands, but I want to talk to you a little bit about that and how sometimes that can be a disadvantage. So when we're having kids raise their hand, what we're sending as a message of is you have a choice to participate. You have a choice of whether you want to participate right now. And I don't know about you, but when I'm teaching, particularly, when it's important content, I don't want it to be a choice of whether kids participate or not. I want everyone to be participating in the lesson. The other thing that I want you to think about is often it's the same kids that are raising their hand over and over and over again. And what that means is those kids are the ones that are getting the most practice opportunities for answering the question. When then on the other hand, we'll have the complete opposite, where we have kids that never raise their hand. So how can we change that up in our classroom so that we have lots of kids answering the questions and thinking about those answers? And I want you to just think about these 5 alternatives. The first thing that I'll talk to you about may not be something that's new to you, but I want to just remind you it's easy to do, and that's popsicle sticks. So I've seen it both in anywhere from kindergarten classrooms up to 12th grade, where you just take a can, take some popsicle sticks, write each student's name on the popsicle stick, put it in the can, and then basically every time you're going to ask a question, you just pull a stick from the can, and whichever student's name is on that stick is the student that you call on. Here's the key though. You don't want to take that student's name out of the can and put it in the other can until you've finished everyone's names, because kids catch on real quick that once they've answered the question, they're off the hook until 20 times later, or however many kids are in your class, to answer questions. So I always make sure that I put that stick back in the can, shake it up a bit, and then ask the next question and call on someone else. So the first one is popsicle sticks. The second one that I want you to think about is response boards. So basically using whiteboards or other response boards to get kids to answer the question. So I call it 1, 2, 3, show me a lot. So I'll ask the question, kids will write down the answer on their whiteboard, and then I'll say, okay, get ready, 1, 2, 3, show me. And as soon as I say show me, they hold up their board. And I can just scan the room really quick and see if everyone's with me and everyone's got the answer. So it's also a really great way to see if kids are understanding visually real quick. So that's just using whiteboards through 1, 2, 3, show me. The third alternative to raised hands is playing cards. So basically you can take 2 decks of playing cards. One deck will stay with the teacher, and the other deck would be what you pass out to the kids. And you're going to have to, the only thing you have to make sure of is that whatever you're passing out to the kids, that you're keeping track of that so that you have a matching card in your pile as the teacher, okay? So basically, I would have my pile and then the cards passed, one card passed out to each student, and then I could shuffle my pile of cards, pull a card out, and I could say, okay, whoever has the Queen of Hearts is the one up for this question. And the student, whoever I passed out the Queen of Hearts to, is the student that's going to be up for answering that question that day. You can also take those, I've seen an instance where teachers have taken those playing cards and they've actually taped them on student desks, and then they change the student desk arrangement periodically where kids are sitting, so they don't always have, for example, the Queen of Hearts. But that's another way just to keep it so you're not having to pass out cards each time, is already have the card taped on the desk, and then you have your set of playing cards in front of you. The fourth alternative to raised hands is poker chips. So there's 2 ways that you can use poker chips. You just have a set of poker chips, and basically it's somewhat similar to popsicle sticks, but you can write each student's name on a poker chip, have them in a little jar, and then you just pull the poker chips out, read the student's name, and that's the student that's going to answer the question. Another way to use poker chips is similar to what I've talked about in a previous video, which is talking chips, where you take poker chips and the students' names may not be on them, and basically you give each student the number of chips that they're going to have that day, and you could choose, let's say, 1, 2, 3, and you just tell the students you need to have used all your poker chips by the end of today. So they're going to have their choice of when they're going to answer, but you've set the expectation that they're going to be participating this many times today. So that's another way that you can use poker chips. The fifth way that's an alternative to raised hands is just basically some really great apps that are out there. So you can use apps that do random choose student names randomly for you. Some things that I'm thinking of that you might be familiar with, or if you're not, look into it. One's called Stick Pick. So it's like using popsicle sticks, but it's on that app, so Stick Pick. Another app out there is called Randomly. So it's just a way to randomly bring up student names for answers. And then the third one for an app is Kid Pick. And it's just like the popsicle sticks as well, but it's just called Kid Pick, and it randomly pulls those names for you also. I hope that you find that helpful and can start to implement some of those ideas into your classroom so that you can do less hand raising and have more students participating. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. That really helps us out. And remember also that you can find great resources at sidebysideconsulting.com. Thanks for listening.